So this is a half yard of soil going into a half ton, and this half yard of topsoil is what we often recommend as enough for a vehicle to haul. We're looking at a 3/4 ton four-wheel drive, and he may be getting more than the one bucket, and he can probably handle it where not every half ton would. But soil is surprisingly heavy. It's a good topsoil. He's loading from what we call a premium bin, and that bin has compost, topsoil, and some lime added, so it's closer to being that good productive material you want for your garden. It's really an interesting way to get your soil home in a quantity, and it's been screened. There's no rock, but there's some organic matter in, and it's ready to go to work for you. We do sell a straight topsoil as well. It's a little less money, and the straight topsoil can be built up, but if you started with the straight topsoil, you'll find you have to add some composted material to reach the same quality as you get with the premium. As we look around, the half tons are rolling through on a regular basis. We do, quite a volume of soils here. We're looking at a pile of lawn and garden topsoil, and our topsoil is a real sandy mix. And the reason for that is it allows the water to percolate, and then you can add to it. If we move past this area, we had a rain last night, so it's covered for keeping it dry. You come to another bin, and that's our premium soil. It has some lime and some organic matter added. It's closer to being the soil you want for a vegetable flower garden. Again, it started with a very sandy soil mix. Now, some people criticize us a bit for that, but water can percolate through this sandy mixture, and it makes it a lot easier to build the kind of soil that you want. There's a little bit of clay worked in and some organic matter, but it'll let the garden dry properly. If you get it too heavy, then sometimes you're in a situation where it takes it forever to dry out. Now, we do have different options for you. There's on the far end of this, we have a composted farm compost, which is used to add fertilizer. People are rebuilding lawns with it. They top dress with it, and they work it with their premium soil. We're walking by a couple of bins. There's a specialty rock and a river rock, and these are used for decorating. You put them down at the top dressing and wash them off. You get lots of pinks. It's a nice granite coming in from down in the St. John area. This group here is used for building pathways or laying pavers. This is what we refer to as crusher dust, but it's 0 to 1/4 fine crushed rock. And then we have 0 to 3/4 if you were doing driveway repairs or trying to get an area firmed up to build a garden shed. This would work really well. Now, these two products are just different mills of the same material. On this side, we have some drainage rock. And this drainage rock is coarser with no fine particles, so you can put it in around a pipe to build a French drain or to drain moist areas of your garden. This one works really well. So this one's a little harder for leveling smoothly because it's designed to let the water go through. So you put it in and maybe put a landscape fabric over it so it doesn't fill with dirt, and you can use it as a drain for wet areas in your garden. This is a rich fertilizer. It comes to us from Cardwell Farms, which is a Sussex company that produces a well-milled mixture. It has some bark in it, and it has some farm fertilizer. This one can be used as a top dressing for lawns, or it can be blended into your flower and perennial beds to give you a rich. It's like adding, any composted manures. We sell several different versions of it. This is sharp sand. You could use it for laying pavers. It'll help break up a heavy clay soil. And on the other side we have this one is a is a pea stone. Now they switched from sand to pea stone in playgrounds. So we sell a tremendous amount of this one because it's a little safer. I guess it doesn't get in your eyes so easily as you would with sand, and for that reason we find it's really in demand these days. It can also be used as a top dressing. It's really pretty for you know, if you wanted to build a Zen garden, or if you wanted to have just a top dressing that is a little different than the neighbor's bark. Speaking of bark, we go across this way and we'll have a look at some of our bark mulches. We have a bark material coming from a local supplier, and this one is a mixture of New Brunswick bark, and in the natural color it'll darken as it's down for a bit longer. So this group is shredded, fairly easy to spread, put it around plants. If you put a yard of it down 3 inches thick, you're going to be able to keep most weeds down for a period of time. It's a finely shredded and very dark in color once you get into the season. It darkens as it's down for a bit. In the next bin we have the same material, but it has food coloring added to make it red. So this one is a red bark, and it does the same job. You put it in, it's a lot darker when it's moist, but if you put it in as a covering when it's 3 inches thick, it'll choke out most weeds. The only caution we might have is not to build it up too much around the trunks of your trees, but to feather it out in close to the tree and then cover the majority of the area. If you put it down, again, that area coverage everybody's wondering about. If you take a cubic yard and put it 3 inches thick, it should cover 100 square feet or more. 1 inch thick, just to add some color, you should get 300 square feet out of it. This one over here is a black version of the same thing, and it's kind of fun because, you know, everyone has their preferences, but this one is, again, same bark that we saw in natural, but in a black, and it actually can be used to protect plants. It covers the root system in the wintertime and keeps it from freezing and thawing, so there's a positive side to that. All of these materials are available in bags. We sell the bagged products as well, and you can bag your own, or you can come with containers and fill it. We try to make it as convenient as possible. We arrange delivery if you don't have a vehicle that can handle it. So we try to be as accommodating as we can to get you the product you need to make your property the envy of the neighborhood. So we hope you found this session interesting, and if you want to learn more, subscribe to scottsnursery.tv.